like some props for our videos, like maybe a pipe. I could have I think guys with pipes are looked at as more intelligent.
Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you.
Hello and welcome back to our channel. I'm Colleen and this is Our Blessed Life, and today we are participating in a collab with Tiffany over at Blessed Bears. I just love her channel. I'm going to link it below. I hope you'll check it out. She has a large family vlog and she does a lot of homeschooling content as well. So this is actually a dad's Q&A, a homeschooling dad's Q&A that we're participating in today. So mostly you're going to be seeing Gary in this video. I want to go ahead and apologize a little bit for the echo. We are in the middle of moving. If you follow our channel, you know that, and we are down to the nitty-gritty here. Just going to go ahead and show you our little setup here. We added a light. We got Gary in the only piece of furniture that we have left in our living room. This is our makeshift couch, and then of course Sophie's little chair. Yeah, we're just kind of doing the best we can for the final sit-down videos that we're going to record in this house. So I'm going to go ahead and get out the questions. I'm going to ask Gary the questions, and I'm going to link the combined playlist in the description box below, and I hope you'll check it out. Question number one, how long has your family been homeschooling?
All right, so our family's been homeschooling since Katie left the second grade. I think the last year of public school was her second grade year. And she was a junior next year. Quick math tells me that's about 8 years. So we're starting year 9 of homeschooling.
Okay, question number two. Before you ever considered homeschooling, what was your opinion of it?
I think my opinion was probably what a lot of other opinions are of fathers or maybe even moms out there. But the concern I had was the social part of it all. The fact that there wouldn't be enough interaction with other kids Katie's age, and she wouldn't get enough of, I guess, established friendships and things of that nature. But that was the initial concern more than anything, was the socialization standpoint.
Okay, number three, did you have any reservations about homeschooling before you started?
My only reservation was the socialization thing. I felt like you could do a good job with homeschooling her. I wasn't concerned about the educational part of it all, but my main concern was the socialization.
Thank you, babe. What benefits do you see in homeschooling?
The benefits I see in homeschooling would be the ability to spend more time at home with your family, with your siblings, establish better relationships, stronger relationships with your family, not as much wasted time that you might get in a public school setting. Being able to get everything done in, say, 4 hours of time as opposed to 6 or 7 hours in a public school setting, and having other time during the day to do other things. Overall, I think the aspect of having a stronger family relationship was the number one thing.
What do you think homeschooling has done for your relationship with your kids?
Well, just like I said in the other answer, I think it allows us to connect more frequently because of being here in the house as opposed to being in a public school setting. I also work from home, so even though I have my office in a different room, in a room over the detached garage, I come in and out frequently, and I sometimes will bring my computer inside and do work in here as well. So a totally different setting than what most families have, and it just allows us to connect more often and more frequently.
Do you teach anything to your children, and if so, what?
All right, so you handle most of the stuff, obviously, but there are times where I will sit down with a worksheet or work page, or you've got something else going on, and I can kind of follow a worksheet or work page to help with Sophie's stuff. From Katie's perspective, it's more about life skills, I guess, money, things that she's interested in. We have mutual interest in, which is real estate, things like that. So, but obviously you're doing most of the book stuff. And then we also are able to do family devotions, stuff on character building. We're reading a book right now called How Do You Ruin Your Life by 30, which is good stuff for Katie. Yeah.
Number 7, what role do you play in homeschooling and how do you support your wife?
So I guess my major role is to actually be able to work and do most of our Colleen and I own a small business, and I primarily run the business and run the day-to-day operations. So I handle most of the work-related duties to kind of take those types of things off of you, so that you can actually perform the homeschooling and do the homeschooling with the kids. But at the same time, I feel like part of my role is to when I do come in and work inside, and we're checking in periodically with the kids and stuff like that, just to kind of encourage them and maybe give them a little lighthearted joking around or playing around on a day that they may not be having such a great day, but just being an encourager of what they're doing.
Number 8, would you ever put your children in public school?
So Colleen and I were public schooled, and most of my friends do have kids that go to public school. I just think that with our situation being, working from home, having our business the way it is, and then after learning more about homeschooling over the years and how well it's been successful for us, and the time that it's allowed for us to be stronger as a family, that in our situation, I wouldn't want to go back to public school at all. Not to mention what's going on in the world right now with COVID. And all of the stuff that's kind of happening in the background, public schools not knowing what they're going to do this upcoming year. We don't have to worry about any of that stuff. We're not having to worry about, where our kid's going to be at what time and anything like that. So obviously right now there's no better time to be homeschooling than right now. Also, with Sophie having special needs and everything, we didn't feel like a public school setting was going to work best for her, because of the fact that we're able to give her more one-on-one time, specifically to the things that she needs. Whereas in a public school, and when we went and talked to them before, we were told, on how many hours that she would get of therapies and things like that. But hers would have been in a group setting with other kids, and we just didn't feel like she was going to get what she needed in a public school setting, and we were going to be able to dedicate a heck of a lot more time than a public school was going to be able to get for her. And so, that's been a great benefit of homeschooling her.
All right, and the last question, what would you say to the man who's unsure or on the fence about homeschooling?
I would say that, first of all, I definitely think that having questions or being concerned is pretty normal. When you've never ever considered homeschooling, or if you have some idea of what homeschooling is, it's probably not accurate. It was in my case. I thought that it was just random people here and there that may be a little bit off kilter that may be homeschooling. And then I went to a meeting of homeschooling families for the county that we live in way back when we first started, and the sheer numbers of people at that particular meeting blew my mind that day. And it made me feel a lot better about the fact that we were getting into something that, hey, it wasn't just the random family that was doing it. It was a lot of families that were doing it. So that gave me a sense or a peace of mind that it may not be what I think it is, especially from a socialization standpoint, because there were a ton of families in that particular meeting that day. I just think that you just kind of have to open up your mind a little bit, do a little bit of research on it. And I think you'll find that any doubts or fears that you might have in your mind might be overcome by just kind of doing a little bit of research and digging in a little bit, or asking around to some other families that may homeschool. Or you can just commit to a 1-year trial of doing it and just see how it goes over 1 year. Make sure that you check out the combined playlist and Tiffany's channel, Blessed Bears, that are linked in the description box below. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
You and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the